move on with the action. Our co-main event of the night, Brian Ceballo and Mitch Louis-Charles, middleweights. Crowd is buzzing here after a contentious fight, our most contentious fight of the night, the most even fight of the night. You take a look at Lefty Gonzalez leaving the ring. It's tough, hometown fight. You have a lot of fans here. He obviously didn't perform like he wanted to perform. He probably wanted to get a knockout, but you add it all up, ring rust and a guy that was slippery in there in Bostic, and you're going to get yourself a decision and maybe like a sour taste in his mouth for Lefty.
But I think he's happy that he was able to brush the rust off. He's back in the ring. He's back in the groove of things. And, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing him fight again.
Yeah, got to be active. Inactivity is a real problem in boxing.
A real thing.
It's really hard to get fights in the local scene, especially here in New York. But with Boxing Insider teaming up with Ceballo and here at Broadway Boxing, we're going to see more we're going to see more dates, fight dates, and we're going to see more events. Get these fighters moving.
So we're 3 fights in so far, Dan. You still have the first fight as fight of the night.
Yes, I absolutely still do have the first fight of the night. Raymond Cuadrado and Yuri Andujar. You have to tune in early when you're watching Boxing Insider Broadway Boxing, because the first fight of the night might steal the show.
The action continues here at Sony Hall. It is Boxing Insider Fight Night. The following contest takes place inside of 8 rounds in the middleweight division. Our first competitor approaches the blue corner at this time. Here is Mitch Louis-Charles.
Fighting out of Quebec, Canada, Mitch Louis-Charles. Thirteenth fight of his career.
You know, tonight, I'm going to finish what I started, April 27th. So let's get going. You know, I'm the biggest star right now in New York City, and we're only chasing world titles. So let's do it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent makes his way to the red corner. Here is Brian Ceballo.
One of the most decorated amateurs to ever come out of New York City. The likes of Mark Breland. Multiple time New York Golden Gloves winner. It's Brian Ceballo. 14-1. It's our co-main event. This is our tail of the tape, brought to you by Boxing Insider. Ceballo has the experience advantage, as you can see. Mitch Louis-Charles taller, rangier. 8 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Brian Ceballo looking to climb that ladder. Go from standout amateur to professional contender, one-day world champion. Rest it up to the center of the ring, Matt Capitello. Get us started.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ringside judges are Georgi Gorgov, Anthony Lundy, and James Pierce. Jay Salzman is the referee in charge of the action. Introducing first, Boxing out of the blue corner. From Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall. Weighing in at 153.2 pounds. He enters this bout with a record of 7-3-2. 4 out of his 7 victories by way of knockout. Here is Mitch the Hope Louis-Charles. And his opponent, boxing out of the red corner, hailing from Brooklyn, New York, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 154.8 pounds, entering this contest with a record of 14-1. Half of his 14 victories by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Ceballo. We go to referee Jay Salzman for the instructions for both competitors.
Mitch and Brian, you went over the rules of New York State Athletic Commission before the bout. Always remember, respect the rules, fight your best, protect yourselves at all times, touch gloves, let's go to work.
All right, I'm ready for a co-main event. Seems like the chat is too. Solid amount of viewing here. Appreciate it. Even you getting a shout out, Henry. Good job, Henry. Proud of you, says Curtis Jones.
Oh, my man.
We're underway. Co-main event of the evening. Brian Ceballo in the black and gold trunks. Mitch Louis-Charles in the black and white. I think the crowd's buzzing still from that previous fight we just saw, Lefty Gonzalez and Terrell Bostic. Controversial. Lefty gets the win. So here we are with Brian Ceballo, one of the best amateurs to ever come out of New York. A beauty of a left hand, a thudding blow landing on Mitch Louis-Charles. Louis-Charles, taller and rangier. We're going to see if he's going to fire that jab. Ceballo looking very poised, controlled. He's the fighter with the more experience. He's the fighter with the better pedigree.
And you can tell just by his composure, very relaxed.
You can tell by the mustache, too. Ceballo rocking the mustache. Distinguished. Beautiful jab.
It's a bit of a slow pace so far. Feel out round.
The prototypical feel out round. Ceballo holding court in the center of the ring, firing off a jab, staying poised. Louis-Charles not doing much of anything early on. Trying to find distance, trying to find range.
Louis-Charles is coming off of an impressive win. He defeated an undefeated fighter, Josniel Castro, beat him by knockout in the 4th round. Oh, good right hand. Good right hand by Mitch.
Catches the attention of Ceballo, wakes him up a little bit.
It's a little smirk right there on Brian Ceballo's face.
Lands another right hand. Green's looking for the distance, trying to find some range here. He's taller. I'd like to see him jab more.
It's a little bit of a knot on the right side of Mitch's eye there.
It was Ceballo with the heavier shots. It was Mitch Louis.
Seems like that left hook right there might have done a slight bit swelling underneath that right eye for Mitch.
How'd you have that first round?
I give it to Brian Ceballo.
I agree. He landed some good jabs, some eye-opening shots. For Louis-Charles, just wasn't enough. He had his moments. We'll see if Louis-Charles can pull off a massive upset. Ceballo already at his feet here. Doesn't look like he's breathing heavy at all. Round 2 underway, junior middleweights. Brian Ceballo in the black and gold trunks. Mitch Louis-Charles in the black and white. We're here at Sony Hall. Dan Canobio.
Another chop right hand there.
Ceballo's corner telling him, don't wait, don't wait. He's trying to get inside, but nice right there from Charles. Every time Ceballo gets close, he gets in the range.
He gets caught with that chopping right hand.
Louis-Charles throws a right hand on the mark. It's going to make you think twice.
Absolutely. And that's just a good example that when the corner asks to don't wait and apply pressure, sometimes you can't because, you see that you keep getting caught with a shot like that.
There's that jab from Louis-Charles. Got the reach advantage. Throwing it few and far between. Like to see a little more jabbing from Louis-Charles and a little more inside from Ceballo. Fighting on the inside, being a little more aggressive.
You can see that Brian's starting to find his groove in here. Mitch still doesn't seem like he's exactly comfortable in there.
Yeah,
yet.
I feel he's in between what he wants to do in there. As the taller fighter, historically you should jab and you should move and you should find homes for that right hand. Easier said than done.
Absolutely, especially when you have a quick responser like Brian Ceballo standing in front of you.
Shout out to my guy Ernie Green watching at home via Boxing Insider YouTube page. Got a good one here, heating up. Brian Ceballo and Mitch Louis-Charles, 154-pounders. Ceballo 14-1, really looking to go into overdrive and start to establish himself in what is a really, really competitive division at 154. Ruled right now by Jamel Charlo. You got Tim Zhu, Sebastian Fundora, Charles Conwell, Brian Mendoza. Probably leaving out some names. That's a loaded division.
Absolutely. The one thing that I really appreciate about Brian Ceballo here is his response time. The minute Mitch tries to attempt to punch, Brian Ceballo responds back with 2-3 shots, therefore paralyzing Mitch and making Mitch think twice before letting his hands go.
Deliberate fight here. Methodical fight. I'm expecting it to pick up. Ceballo poised, like we said.
Yeah, looking at that, at Mitch's eye, the right eye seems to be closing just a slight bit there.
Let's get into the corner of Ceballo. You're a trainer. What would you be telling him here? I do think he's winning, but what do you want to tell him?
I definitely think Ceballo's winning. I think that, if anything, I would just tell him to try to respond a little bit more. Definitely let his hands go whenever Mitch attempts to throw a shot.
Sleeper has Ceballo up 2-0. Zay Greedo in the chat has Ceballo up 2-0.
Wow, great left hook.
The left hook there lands on the mark from Ceballo. I think he heard your instructions, Henry.
You see, when you get caught with shots like that, it makes it harder for Mitch to even get comfortable in there. And that's what Brian Ceballo wants. He just wants to stay in his groove like that, to never really give the slightly taller, longer fighter a chance to get comfortable in there.
When you're Brian Ceballo, you're a decorated amateur, and you fought in some pretty big fights, some pretty big cards underneath Golovkin and whatnot. Do you think he's looking for an exclamation point? Do you think he's looking for a knockout? Like, a win might not be enough for him, a decision win. A knockout would get headlines.
I think definitely a knockout would be impressive, but I'm sure Ceballo would just want a dominant win, if anything.
I am a firm believer in stylish wins. A firm believer in making an exclamation point. You gotta do it in boxing. Knockout sell. But you gotta be patient. If you look for the knockout, it usually never comes.
Absolutely. And when you least expect it, it's there. Boom.
Ceballo doing a good job of cutting off the ring.
Yeah, that's experience.
He's right there in front of him. Ceballo let his hands go a little more. See, right there was a nice right hand there from Ceballo. You saw Louis-Charles extend himself a little bit. He missed, and Ceballo made him pay. Something you've been saying all in the fight.
Absolutely. I just think that, Mitch, he's never going to exactly get comfortable. He's going to go right into survival mode, I think. He keeps getting caught with shots like that. Every time he tries to do something, Brian has a response for him. It's discouraging.
Final 15 seconds here of round 3. Brian Ceballo in control. But Mitch Louis-Charles is game. He's tall, he's rangy. Hasn't found a home for those rights that he had in the first 2 rounds. We're gonna move on to round 4.
Yeah, Mitch is definitely struggling to find his rhythm, and based on how things are going, Brian Ceballo is never really gonna give him that opportunity.
We're gonna look at some more great work from Ceballo. A nice flush left hand. And here's the moment where Ceballo was able to land some good shots there as well. Louis-Charles extended himself there. Ceballo has been making him pay as a counterpuncher. I want to know where everyone is checking in from the chat. Where are you watching this fight from? We are here in Midtown Manhattan on a hot summer night. Sony Hall, Boxing Insider, Broadway Boxing, Larry Goldberg and Lou DiBella coming together to bring you some great fights. Round 4 underway. Ceballo in the black and gold trunks. Mitch Louis-Charles in the black and white. Dan Canobio and Henry De Leon on the call.
Ooh.
I do not know the ring girl's name, Clum. Sorry, can't help you.
Yeah, I think that eye is bothering Mitch. That glove is
he's holding it.
close,
Yeah.
yep.
The referee's going to call time, and they're going to take a look at that eye. Henry, you were right on it about 2 rounds ago. Are they looking at the? Yes, they are. New York State has one of the strictest commissions in the country. Louis-Charles said, "I'm good. I'm fine." Continue the action here.
It's a brilliant performance by Brian Ceballo so far.
Ceballo's workmanlike. He's deliberate. Very sound fighter. Looking for openings. Patient and poised. Has been the case since round 1. He's found some openings in this fight. I love that counter left.
Mitch is trying to use his jab now to try to keep him away, but Ceballo keeps closing in on him.
Okay, Ceballo is definitely closing the distance. I'd like to see him let his hands go more when he does close the distance.
Beautiful left hook.
There it comes. Nice right there. Goes to the body. He's got Louis-Charles in the corner now. Charles doing the smart thing and tying up.
You know, at this pace, I think, you know, Brian might get that stoppage you were saying earlier.
He's patient. It's an 8-round fight. We're in round 4. He's breaking Louis-Charles down every round. If you're a patient fighter, you will get the stoppage. $14 seconds remaining here in round number 4. We're about to be halfway through the fight. Ceballo applying good pressure on Louis-Charles. Charles in, I don't want to say survival mode, but he's doing everything he can to stay competitive in this one.
He's definitely trying to stay in the fight, but honestly, it's starting to seem to me that Charles is starting to look a little bit defeated, a little bit discouraged. He doesn't have quite an answer for whatever Brian Ceballo attempts to do. And as the round progresses, Brian Ceballo continues to land more and more shots.
Shout out to my guy, Dan, the Corona Premier user, watching Boxing Insider YouTube page. Gotta love free fights. Free fights in an absolutely jam-packed ballroom here at Sony Hall. Right in the heart of New York City.
Great action here tonight.
Yeah, great action. We still have our main event upcoming. Kurt Scooby, Henry, Hank, Hammer and Hank Lundy. 8 rounds coming up next. Got ourselves a slippage.
Charles came out aggressive this round.
Well, the more aggressive Charles comes out, it's going to be good for Ceballo. As you know, when you open up, you become a little vulnerable. Ceballo is pretty precise if he's anything.
It's a great counterpuncher.
The chat has Ceballo up 4-0. I agree. Henry, you agree?
Absolutely. I have him 4-0 so far.
I haven't asked you in a while because we know. What do you want to see from Louis-Charles? He's down 4-0. His eyes swelling shut. He's in there. He's outgunned. He's overmatched.
I think he should try to take opportunities, try to take advantage of those opportunities that Brian comes in. I mean, he's getting hit already. Try to let something go.
What happened there? Low blow?
Seems to be like a low blow, but from where we're sitting, it didn't seem like it was that devastating.
Very low shot there. Louis-Charles really in pain there.
Usually gets up to 5 minutes to recover from a shot like that.
I can't say I've ever seen a fighter take the 5 minutes, but Luis Louis-Charles is in a lot of pain on his face. You get the 5 minutes. Louis-Charles is taking a one-sided beating in this fight so far.
It's interesting because honestly, like, this is also an opportunity for him to try to recover. So I would not be surprised if he decides to take majority of the 5 minutes, if not the whole 5 minutes.
It's like a machismo thing. It's like you never see the fighter take the actual 5 minutes because it's like, oh, it's a tough man sport. So,
Absolutely.
But if you're Louis-Charles, take it. Like I said, you're losing the fight.
You're losing the fight, so it could also be him trying to find him out of the fight, you know?
It was low. I mean, we've seen beltline shots.
It was pretty low.
You know, we've seen borderline low blows where they're given the 5 minutes. That was a legitimately low shot from Ceballo.
He's telling the referee that it hurts.
It does hurt. If you're a male, you know how much it hurts getting hit down there. And we are back to the action. I would say Louis-Charles took 3 minutes. After a low blow there from Ceballo. Ceballo giving a warning. It was definitely not intentional.
Ceballo picking up exactly where he left off. If anything, he's probably now a little bit annoyed.
Here comes Ceballo, smelling blood in the water here. Minute 15, round 5, scheduled for 8. Brian Ceballo with a big left. That's a knockdown, folks. Our first knockdown of the night.
That left hook has been finding a home all night.
We talked about this all night for Ceballo. He's composed, he's poised, but now he steps on the gas pedal, he can pick up a knockout win.
Charles being a little bit more effective with those jabs.
I'll give Charles credit, he's winging. He's not going to go down easy. He's going to be throwing those wide hooks.
Last 10 seconds. Brian
Nice
finishing the
left there.
round with an exclamation point.
Ceballo chasing Louis-Charles around the ring as we come to the close of round number 5.
Another dominant round by Ceballo. Excuse me, Ceballo.
Ceballo looks good. He's got an opponent in there that's tricky. You know, tall, lanky, moving around in there. The thing about Ceballo, he's not going to deviate from his game plan. He's not going to deviate from his strengths.
I think the only thing that makes Mitch tricky at this point is that the crazy haymakers that he's throwing. Because as you can see, Brian Ceballo is starting to land his punches quite easily. Yes, Charles is the longer, lankier fighter, but he hasn't really been using that to his advantage.
We move on to round number 6, scheduled for 8. Brian Ceballo, black and gold trunks. Mitch Louis-Charles, black and white trunks. Ceballo picked up a knockdown in the last round, round number 5. He's smelling blood in the water. He wants to pick up stoppage number 8 of his career. Continue to climb the ranks at 154.
Ceballo's definitely picking up the pace.
Ceballo does win this fight. I want to ask him in the ring if there's a name at 154. what you want next.
His last 2 weeks of training camp, he was actually out in training camp with Earl Spence.
Wow.
He was out there sparring him.
Who do you like in Spence Crawford?
Oh man, that's a tough fight. That's a tough fight.
I still can't believe we're getting it. So oh, nice left there from Ceballo. I go back and forth. I started off Crawford, and now I'm leading Spence.
I think that's a fight that can go either way, honestly. And Crawford has, I think, just a little bit more tools than Spence.
I agree with that. Spence a little bit bigger, though, and I saw them at the press conference here in New York City. I was like, wow, Errol Spence looks like a middleweight. Speaking of middleweights, we got a junior middleweight fight here. Brian Ceballo. Could maybe see him one day at middleweight. But right now he fights at 154, and he's putting a hurting on Mitch Louis-Charles.
Charles complaining to the ref that was another foul.
Ceballo in stalk mode. Louis-Charles occasionally firing off a jab. Not really doing a lot to establish himself. Love this shot right here. I feel like you're in the ring. It's a great shot. .30 seconds here, round number 6. Ceballo had Louis-Charles down in round 5. Taking his foot off the gas pedal a little bit here in round 6. Charles is holding a lot now. He wants to see that final bell. But I truly believe Ceballo could use a stoppage. He can use that headline.
Yeah, at this point, it very much seems that Mitch is just trying to go the distance. He doesn't really seem like he's that eager to trying to win, but you never know in boxing. All it takes is one punch. All it takes is for one fighter to be slightly careless and get caught with one of those crazy haymakers, and game changer. Would you agree that it's so far a dominant performance by Brian Ceballo?
Oh, yeah. He's winning these rounds, don't get me wrong. Like, he's getting good rounds, and he's doing a lot of technical things in there because he's a very technical fighter.
With the names that you listed before, right, where do you see Brian Ceballo's potential in matchups against guys like that?
It's hard to tell. I mean, he's got the pedigree, and he's very sound. The guys I listed, I think, are a tier just above him. Obviously, the top tier. He's just got to keep winning. He's got to keep putting W's in there, and when it's that crowded of a division, stoppages help. But most importantly, wins. Just get a win column and then talk to your promoter and try to get an opportunity, work your way up. I mean, it's only his 15th, 16th fight. Those guys at 154 are just savages. Tim Zhu, Jamel Charlo.
It's definitely an interesting division.
Charles Conwell is like the sleeper of the division. Erickson Lubin came back last week. He looked good.
Yeah, he looked pretty good in this fight.
Considering the type of fight he was in with Lubin a year before.
That's why you can't always just base fighters based on their last performance. You know, it is real that sometimes a fighter might just have a bad day.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not like any other sport where you hunt baseball, 162 games, NBA, 82 games. You have singular nights, singular performances, 40 of them if you have a long career, where it's that night. You got to look absolutely outstanding on one night.
You know, and it's fair to say that from Ceballo, that one loss he has on his record, it's fair to say that he probably just had a bad night that day.
Yeah, there's no room for error in boxing. It's one of the most brutal sports. Brian Ceballo looking to climb up that ladder. 7th round. We're scheduled for 8. Our main event is moments away. Kurt Scooby, a power puncher with 9 knockouts in his 11 fights, taking on Hammer and Hank Lundy. Lundy with one of those MMA records, 31, 13, and 1. Lundy been in the ring with Terrence Crawford, Post-Style, Ray Beltran, and a slew of others. Looking forward to our main event.
That jab is working very effectively for Brian this round.
Louis-Charles doing a really good job of surviving. He's clinching when he has to. He's moving. He's making it ugly in there. Right, like boom.
I mean, at this point, I think that's what he kind of has to do.
What do you want to do if you're Ceballo? Like, how do you get aggressive if you're not an aggressive fighter at heart?
I guess just taking more advantages of the opportunities he creates. When he lands 2-3 shots.
That's right there from Ceballo with the body. That was a nice combination. 3-punch combination from Ceballo to end the round. We head into the 8th and final round. Brian Ceballo pitching a shutout. Getting closer and closer to our main event. What does our live chat think? Is Kurt Scooby going to win by decision, by knockout? Is Hammer and Hank Lundy going to pull off an upset at age 39? Turn back the hands of time.
Here we go. 8th and final round.
Eighth and final round here at Sony Hall. It's been all Brian Ceballo. Black and gold trunks. Mitch Louis-Charles, a survivor. Wants to see that final bell. Eye was swelling shut at one point. He was down in the earlier rounds. Charles. Here comes Charles. 1-2. Moves out of the way. Ceballo talking to him, laughing. Texas Rob says Hank's gonna shock the world in our main event.
You know, one thing that I really enjoy about these club fights here is that it's so small in here that it almost feels like the crowd is on top of the ring. You know, it gives it that kind of that old school vibe.
It's a low ceiling. It's a really nice ceiling, taking a look at it. Not a lot of fighters have looked up at the ceiling. There's only been one knockdown on this card, but really good fights. I've been to some other venues in New York where there's like a mezzanine, like a balcony, and they kind of like you feel like you're really on top of the ring. But this is a really nice venue. As Louis-Charles lands a nice right hand. I'm talking about the ceiling of the architecture of this building. Louis-Charles is like, hey, I'm fighting here. And then a nice right.
Yeah, Charles definitely came out a slight bit more determined this round, but
he knows it's the last round. He knows he doesn't have to go another one. He can maybe empty the gas tank a little bit.
last 60 seconds. Let's see how Brian closes out this round.
Final 30 seconds. Brian Ceballo pitching a shutout here. Curious to see if he is happy with this type of performance. I will ask him that in the ring. Is there anything else you would like me to ask him, Henry, or the chat?
You know, I'm curious to know who in that division would he ideally like. Because I know when I spoke to him yesterday, he says that he would like to do at least 2 more fights and hopefully by the end of the year start getting ranked in the top 10 so that he can start contending for a World Heavyweight Championship.
It's a pretty good plan. We fight to the final bell. Brian Ceballo, Mitch Louis-Charles. Ceballo is going to win a unanimous decision here. Take a look at some of the work from Ceballo in this fight. He had Louis-Charles down the 4th round. Was able to do pretty much whatever he wanted in there. Mitch Louis-Charles had a few moments of resistance, but not nearly enough. Ceballo is going to move on to 15-1.
Great performance by Ceballo.
I'm going to head into the ring.
Here we go. Matt Batella going inside the ring and getting ready to announce the winner. Great performance by Brian Ceballo. To all you viewers out there, let me know where you would rank. Where do you see Brian Ceballo? How far do you see him going in this division?
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we go to the ringside judges. Georgi Gergov scoring the bout 80-71. Anthony Lundy and James Pierce scoring the bout 79-72 in favor of the winner by unanimous decision, Brian Ceballo.
And there you have it, Brian Ceballo by unanimous decision.
Here's the winner, Brian Ceballo, the workmanlike performance for you. You pick up your 15th career win. You happy with that win?
Yeah, I mean, I should have worked a little bit on cutting the ring off a little bit more to my right. I mean, props to him. He stood in there for 8 rounds, even after some hard shots. But I mean, I think the crowd would agree. I think he needs to go run a marathon or something because the entire fight was just him going around and around and around. I wish we had a little more action-packed fight to give everybody here, all the fans that came out and spent their money and their time to come out here, something really good to see, you know. But overall, I'm happy. I'm continuing to get the work in. I should be going back in camp with Errol Spence after this, so it should be a great experience.
I'm going to ask you who's going to win, Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford?
You said who's going to win? Spence. Come on, is that
Well, you do work with him.
No, I mean, even prior to me going out there the first time, I thought he was going to win. He's focused in the ring. He picks it up round after round. So to me, that is a true winner.
Back to your career. You campaigned at 154 pounds, a very loaded division with some big names at the top, but I'm sure you want to work your way into the top 10. Is there a name out there at 154 or a plan for you that you're looking at?
Yes, definitely. I want to be able to get in the top 10 like I once was in the 147-pound division. Right now, I'm looking to just contend anyone that's in the top 10. Fundora just lost to Mendoza, to Brian Mendoza. So I think that would be a fight everybody would like to see. He's coming off a loss, so I think he's going to want to claim his name again, and I think I'm the perfect opportunity for him.
Brian Ceballo versus Sebastian Fundora. Maybe we see that one day. Great win.